Let's talk about sex.
Ssex Bbox, Sexuality Outside of the Box, is a multimedia social justice project that was created to shed a bright light on this growing global conversation that's happening around gender and sexuality. Now, this is a project that's dedicated to expanding consciousness, dismantling shame, reducing isolation and ignorance, creating community and education, and questioning those old and outdated notions about what sexuality and gender are.
E existe uma questão hoje em dia que é super importante, o apoio para iniciativas, que sejam iniciativas de discussão, iniciativas de filmes, mas que tratem da questão da transexualidade.
Quando a gente se ausenta de se posicionar, a gente está, na verdade, colaborando com as forças opressoras.
So we can't talk about exciting things like global consciousness around sexuality and gender, and we can't talk about terrible and frightening things like violence and homophobia and transphobia and lack of acceptance of diversity without making people feel engaged in some way, right? I mean, I think if you're paying attention here, you're engaged with these ideas.
Hi, I'm Guinevere Turner. I am the screenwriter of Go Fish, American Psycho, and the TV show The L Word. And I'm here to talk to you about the first International Ssex Bbox conference that's happening in Sao Paulo later this year. The conference is bringing people together to talk about issues of body, sexuality, and gender, and specifically the theme for this conference is radical inclusion.
A gente vive num mundo muito complexo e muito diverso. Complexo em todos os aspectos, né? Aspectos culturais, aspectos sociais, econômicos, das relações humanas. E uma dimensão da complexidade desse mundo é a sexualidade e as expressões da sexualidade. Quando eu conheci o Ssex Bbox, eu gostei disso, de fazer uma reflexão sobre gênero, identidade e sexualidade aliada à questão estética, à dimensão estética, e isso é muito interessante.
I'm Buck Angel, and I am so excited to be working with the amazing people from Ssex Bbox. It's a social justice platform, which, as we know, is super amazing, based on sex and sexuality, gender, and helping to move forward the way we feel about sex, the way we feel about gender, and opening up discussion.
A conferência que a gente está construindo, todas juntas, é importante para que se ponham pingos nos Is, nos Js, nos Ks, LM, LGBTs todos, para trazer luz e racionalidade para uma área que tende a ser confusa, mas que não precisa ser confusa, porque a gente está lidando com a liberdade, a gente está lidando com coisas que são muito básicas.
Brinde ao Ssex Bbox. Parabéns, é uma militância também respeitar.
But what can you do about them? What can any of us do? You know, an individual person, if they've got a project like Priscilla has Ssex Bbox, can do a lot, but you can't do everything. And that's why we have to band together. That's why your resources can help support anti-violence work in Brazil and consciousness raising all around the world, whether or not you have the time and the available energy to go and do any work in other places yourself.
Traga aquela sua tia rica que adora contribuir com causas. Raspe o seu porquinho, porque isso é nós que estamos pagando, nós que estamos construindo e pagando dos nossos bolsos e bolsas e bolsas.
Invista na Conferência Internacional Ssex Bbox.
So I'm on board, I will be there because I am part of our community. You need to be part of our community. You want to see change? Change starts with power, and power starts in numbers. So jump on board. Doesn't matter what you can donate. $1, $2, donate. Help us. It's important. Brazil is the #1 place in the world for trans murders. Remember that.